Watch this, guys. I'm gonna show you something that is gonna increase our loot. And let's see if any of you is gonna see it, is gonna spot what I'm doing. Popping the loot filter. Back to 0 loot saint. Now it's a bit of a dangerous strategy. I'll explain why in just a little bit.
I must have time to gather my will.
You can probably already see what I'm doing, right? Let's see how that's gonna end up. Noticing any difference, guys? Keep your eye glued to the screen. Especially, hint, check what's happening with the Beyond. What's going on with that?
My mana is spent.
What do you see? What is it that I'm doing? We are getting more Beyond. You guys see that, right? You can see it in there and what's happening with the Divines. Yes, well, that's part of what we're doing. Part, yes. It's not just letting them live longer, it's letting them converge on my location. Slowly hitting them with a few sparks so you trigger them to follow you, but not killing them as you move along. I'm purposefully trying to not kill them. Now what happens is that they will all converge on you, and once that happens and you see your frames drop, like we see now, that's when you attack. But again, with restraint, look at those 6 links while doing that. With restraint, don't attack all at once, especially some of these mechanics. The thing I'm doing is I'm being slow, methodical. I'm letting everything spawn. I'm not killing everything as it comes out. I'm slow. And in doing so, you will take longer to do your math, right? That makes sense. But what is also going on is that you will create Beyond, and Beyond creates Beyond. You know how that works, right? You can have a chain reaction in that. Now, that can be a bit of a dangerous strategy, like I said, because first off, you do carry a bit of a risk of getting hit with that paralysis stuff. But the reward is pretty clear. You get far more Beyond spawns. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to walk, and just once every few seconds I click. Just once. And with this abyss, I'm not even doing that. I'm just waiting until a pretty big portion of it spawns, and then I stop. Now look what will happen. We've had a 20 divine map, and we had a 24 divine map. I wouldn't be surprised if we can get up to 30 with this. And back to 16 loot with doing this. Hey, Punk Praises, how are you doing, buddy? So this is a bit of a lesson. I told everybody, and people don't believe me, that you can influence what happens with Beyond. And therefore influence the amount of loot that you get. But it's a dangerous game because you do risk getting that paralysis on you. See? We're not attacking.
My mana is spent.
Wait. Letting them converge, which is the sole reason why I believe this build could be the best for pushing loot to the absolute max, because this is one of those builds that doesn't care if it gets hit. So you can go slow, you can go methodical, and squeeze a map for all that it's worth. Yes, 10 job, exactly. And on the Strand map, the record-breaking maps. We took our times, and look how hard it's lagging here. Look, this is because of what we did. This is beyond portals, there's no enemies here. It's exactly like that. Look at that. So now I start attacking, but I have to be careful. I have to check the top left corner of my screen that I don't get too many of these paralysis tags. It's a pretty dangerous gamble, because if you get paralyzed, it's over. You're gonna lose the encounter. But look at what it's doing. There is no denying its effectiveness. And I'm also gonna spawn and open up this breach. And yes, by doing this, by showing restraint, you do get more loot. You get more enemies. You get more beyond, therefore more loot. And this is also why I made a video on Twitch a little while back where I said, is Headhunter bad for Beyond? Now, I don't mean that your Headhunter will not work in Beyond. No, that is definitely not what I mean. What I mean is that holding down a button like you're used to, right? Spamming, having that insane DPS, that is bad for Beyond. Having so many sparks on your screen that you off-screen kill enemies, that is bad for Beyond. So look at this. See those sixlings dropping? And I'm literally just clicking once on my spark every, I would say, second. It's like a rhythmic type of attacking. And look at how many sixlings we're getting. Now, I know this is a bit of a boring gameplay. It looks super boring, it's slow. But I just think that if you know how this works, and if you're looking for just the highest amount of loot that you can get, this is the tactic, guys. Look at what that does. And again, as soon as you see that your lag is subsiding, you stop casting. Because basically you just killed everything in that radius. And you don't want to keep spamming. It's a bit of a dangerous thing to do. Because there's multiple reasons why you want to kill enemies quickly. Usually safety reasons. But if it's pure loot, and that's all you care about, then yes, this is the way to do it. Go slow, go methodical, let them converge on you, and only then attack. And look at what it's doing. See the consistency in these sixlings?
Just in time.
Now I'm not gonna bore you guys for multiple maps this way, and I do think that it would be a bit of a cheat and I would skewer the results and then some. So I'm not gonna do that, but I just wanted to show you guys what we've learned as to how this works, and it's pretty interesting information, right? Now you don't want to be doing that in an alpha, because you're gonna get stun locked. In alpha you go in and you kill, or you just absolutely destroy everything that's close. You don't risk that.
I must have time to gather my will.
Although you could kinda herd them together. If that makes any sense. No, not Amber Herd. But just kinda get them a bit
My mana
close.
is spent.
So yes, you can already see by the loot count in the bottom of your screen that while I had a big problem hitting 15 on the last one, we're going to be hitting an easy 16 on this one by just going a little bit slower and methodical.
Good job, Exile.
And in terms of sixlings, well, the proof is in all the red icons on the floor, right? And again, we are going slow. We want to trigger the highest amount of Beyond. Look at that Abax Sword. The highest amount of Beyond that we can. Now, such a, how do I put this, strategy is highly unrecommended if you're doing maps with, what's it called, less resistance. That stuff will get you killed. Don't do it. But if you feel safe in a map and you're like, okay, I think I can handle that, try it. And tell me the results. I think you'll like it. You will get more exalts because of the note that I just showed you guys on the tree. You will get more everything by doing it like this. It's slower, but it's good. You need something with sugar. Okay, dude, catch you in a bit. So what about that, guys? Look at the amount of divines here.
Time to go.
No, this isn't tinfoil stuff, guys. It's real. Yes, you can get more beyond by the way you interact with everything. And so this is going to be one of those things where I tell you, if your system can handle it, try it out. Play around a little bit. Don't go full blast, don't kill everything right away, especially if you want to get the most loot off of one map. If that makes any sense. This is the way to do it.
Good job.
And some people might be thinking, so why are you not doing this every map? Well, the problem with this strategy is that you kinda... It's a bit unreliable, if that makes any sense. So, yeah... It's like a manual throttling of what you're doing. So how do you know if you're throttling right? If you're like not going too high or too much? It skews the results quite a lot, especially on the divines. And I think in order to give you guys fair data, I just have to go almost max out and not mess around too much with what we know on how we can manipulate these beyond mechanics, because there's a lot we can do. So let's say a room like this, right? I can kill these guys straight up, or I can go here and kind of, you know, get them together. And once everything is together, then we attack. Now look at what that does to Beyond. Slowly kill them. And now all of a sudden, here's the Beyond demons. Look. See? So just doing this slowly gives us a hell of a lot more Beyond. I'm not sure if anybody has tried this before, if you guys already knew this. But that is good information if you want to maximize the loot from one single instance. And we got another scout, guys. Whether that's down to us playing it as slow as we are doing, I don't know. But it is what it is. We got another scout.
My mana is spent.
2 scouts in 2 maps. Finally are getting rid of the dry spell. But look at the divines on this map. That is telling you the story. That is showing you that I wasn't
I
kidding
must have time
with the Beyond
to
stuff.
gather my will.
And I highly encourage you guys to test this for yourself. And thank me later, right? It's an easy way to get more loot. Especially when you're just running this, what's it called? This Beyond stuff. If that's what you're doing, then yes. Oh man, that's a tough guy. And we still have an abyss left as well, guys. Look. I hope I'm not boring you guys to death, by the way, with this, but I think it's a neat little trick that can help you maximize loot in a very simple way without needing extra investment. Just a bit more restraint. And this is exactly why I told you guys that actually Headhunter might not be the way to go. If you're looking to maximize your loot per investment, you're gonna need a hell of a lot of restraint if it's Headhunter that you're using. So now you see me kill fast, right? There is no divine drops. Okay, we'll do slow. Let everything go. Now we're gonna go slow on this one. As slow as we can, without getting run over. There we go. See? Just like that. And now you will start to see proof of my... it's not a hypothesis, but of the experiments that I did, in that walking across this map will become a hell of a lot more laggy. Because we have created so much beyond here. That this is what happens. Look at that 6 link. Now I'm not sure how many there are on this map, but definitely way more than the last few maps. There is no doubt in my mind on that. And we are at 16.2 loot, guys. We couldn't even get close to 16 on the last one. And that's all beyond. Yeah. Still have to do the boss room as well. Now I don't expect there to be too many monsters in there. Still have to be a bit careful. Oh, no. Here we go. So now you guys kind of know why I said that I had nerfed my build. What the reason for that was and how that interacts with Beyond. All this information just came from an insane amount of testing that we did on how Beyond works, on how it spawns, using incubators, testing kill count, and all that knowledge finally allowed us to reach that highest possible loot count.
I must have time to gather my will.
So yeah, it's possible to squeeze everything there is. I think the map is clear, but look at this, guys. You're just lagging while you're walking here. That is all Beyond Portal that is doing that. So yeah, there is a way to create more loot by changing your behavior in the map. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say.
I am no beast of burden.
Do I recommend you guys doing this? It's all up to you guys, right? Some of you will probably say, well, yeah, but you just spent like 10 minutes more on this map. And that might not be worth it for a lot of you guys. And I get that, right? I get if you feel that way. It makes sense. But I feel especially early league, when you don't have that much currency to invest and you can't stack up maps like we're doing here, then you kinda should be focused on how can I get the highest amount of loot off of my investment. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this and show you that, no, I wasn't kidding. You can get far more loot and divines by doing it like that. And this little walk probably proves that. Trying to find the entry. So let's see. Right, how many divines did we get with this tactic? Well, the first thing that is immediately apparent, that should be immediately apparent, is that we have more loot. Well, we went from 15.5 something, barely breaking 15 actually, with a bit of difficulty, to an easy 16. Now the second thing that was probably noticeable to you guys as well is just how much more lag we got while we were walking. If that makes any sense. So just walking across the map, there's much more of these red Beyond portals which are lagging you something. It's
Stay vigilant.
Immediately apparent that there's more going on. Nee. Je hebt niks hier opgeslagen. Nou, moet je dat nu doen. Dan zag je dat maar gewoon. Op je werk zeg je, ja, wil ik je versturen en er gebeurt wat. Sorry guys, a little bit of an in-between thing here.
I must have time to gather my will.
So did we get more divines? I kind of believe we did, but the proof will be when we are counting up the numbers.
I am no beast of burden.
Ja, dat is natuurlijk niet leuk. Ja, yeah, so the missus had just done a few things for work. Pyrocity, see you later, buddy. Thank you very much for joining. The missus had just done a few things for work, right, on the computer, and then she is sending it, and it's like the session has ended or something, so you have to relog, and everything's gone. Shit that she's been working for hours on, that's... yeah. it almost makes you
Long
miss
day.
that good old age where we had paper,
Got my eye on you.
right? Just everything on paper. It used to be so much more simple. Or am I sounding like some some kind of a 90-year-old now? Okay, so we got
That's the
16
trail.
device people, and my guess is going to be
Job
at least
never
35,
ends.
probably more. Let's see what we got. And all we're doing here is trying to prove, yes, Beyond is something you can control to an extent. You can just get more if you do it correctly. So I'm going to be putting this little map on YouTube, not as a drop highlight, which we usually do, but kind of a bit of a educational tool on how you can manage to change what's going on with Beyond and get the highest possible loot per map. Because I think this map perfectly illustrated that. In a very visual way, but probably also in the numbers, we'll see.
Long day. The job never ends.
So that's 24 divines, guys. Which was the same as we had on the last map.
Long day.
But I think there's a few more on this one.
Stay vigilant.
Let's see.
Hail, Godslayer. Hail, God...
Oh nee, die pakt kleine man. Keep him coming. See what's up.
I must have time to gather my will.
And look at this, guys, right? I told you, you can pretty much cheat like this. It sounds like stupid, but you can.
I am no beast of burden.
Any doctor?
No, but I just try to show everybody what we learned on Beyond
That's the
by
trail.
doing the things we did on Strand. Remember throttling, going easy, all those
The
nice
job
tricks that we
never
learned.
And you died.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I'm proving a point here, in a big way actually, because the last maps we got 24 divines,
Slayer.
and we barely got to 15.5 loot. We almost didn't even break
Job
15,
never
and
ends.
now we got 16.3, 16.2, 16.3, and we are getting probably close to 40 divines or above by slowly doing things. And you can see the amount of Beyond portals and the way they increased by doing this. So I'm happy that it is visible in such a in such a clean way, right? It was immediately apparent from the start that there's just much more Beyond by trying to just barely avoid that, what's it called, that paralysis. And I do mean
I
barely.
am no beast of burden.
And here it is, guys. That is 39 divines. By just plain and simply taking a little bit more time, and especially for the abysses,
Slayer.
don't hold down your button and kill them as they come out. No. Wait until
Stay
there's at
vigilant.
least quite a few of them around you, if your build can handle it. Then kill them. Breach, same thing. Don't get overrun, but don't just hold down your button, if that makes any
That's the
sense.
trail. The job never
39
ends.
divines. And we got 2 scouts, 1 scout in each map in the last few maps. So we're finally ending our dry spell with the scout. Now let's dry sea. Let's pick up everything else. Let's see if it also worked for other things. We see more general loot, because guys, Beyond Demons give us that basic currency item, if that makes any sense. That is part of what we're doing on the tree. So in theory we should have some thick loot. And we have another Dragon's Heart as well, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Very good.
You're awesome!
Oh, thank you very much, dude. So yeah, I kind of understand that most people that do Beyond, do these super thick maps, they will just, you know, destroy it. They will fly through it as quick as possible, and I get that, right? Speed usually kinda is the way to go. But if it's money per map that you're interested in, and you should be, especially early league when you don't have any stacks of currency laying around and you want to make the most of everything you do, your behavior inside the map can actually change the outcome of the loot from the map, which is pretty interesting. It's RNG for the drops, but for the amount, yes, you can influence that. Am I happy with the amount of doctors in 43 maps? Well, I did say that I expected to see 1 in 8 to 10. So we're due, right? I'm not unhappy, but I kind of would like to see one. It has been 16 maps without a doctor. So we had an insane average, and all of a sudden it's dropped off. Having said that, guys, this card is so rare that I don't believe I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be happy even with the numbers in 100 maps. I think we need a hell of a lot more for us to get any fair data for you guys, where we can say, okay, these are the averages that make sense. So am I happy? It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Would I like to see more? Oh yeah, we always like to see more. But it's not horrible. But I think it's time, right? It is time. Everything there is looted, that's great. And look at that, guys, that is 40 divines in total. And that is how powerful that can be. And guys, keep in mind, that is 40 divines with the Alva Sextant. So add 2 more abysses to that and do the same thing that you just saw me do. Like carefully dance around the enemies, make sure you don't get perma-stunned, but don't kill them quickly as well. You might actually end up with 50 divines. But it's a pretty tedious project, and I don't want to bore you guys to sleep by taking forever and doing these maps and going slow. I just felt that it was just a good thing to show you guys that yes, what you do inside the map can matter in a big way. Okay guys, I think we got this one clear. We have one, I think it's a metamorph to go as well. So let's see what we get here. I'm just gonna wait until he comes to me and then I'm gonna stand behind him. Here we go. Nice. Portal is good. Grabbing that. This. That's it for this map, guys. So I'm not sure, I haven't timed. I'm pretty sure that I was definitely slower than the other maps because of this new tactic, or it's not new, but what we learned, right? The applied tactic here. So it just takes you longer to kill and clear the map. But man, it's hard to argue with the results, right?
Hey,
You're getting close to 4 exalts and divines that way.
got my eye on you.